Have you ever wondered if you could make your own ghost rose split cake? Well, lately I've been wondering that too. I actually spent a lot of money on a ghost rose split cake that didn't actually work. So, if you're interested, stay tuned and we'll make one together. Okay, so since I last started filming, I actually had to clean off the whole desk because it was mountain high with art stuff, as it gets pretty much every day. So, I have also gotten my isopropyl rubbing alcohol out, a bunch of napkins. I've put alcohol over my blades. Washed my hands. I don't use gloves. I mean, potentially you should use gloves, but I don't use gloves, so it is what it is. So I washed my hands, and I have my cutting board, which I like to prefer to cut on, but I do also want to put like a piece of wax paper, or in this case, this is the parchment paper. So here's the here's the guy that isn't working for me. I so thought this was gonna solve my problem when I got it, but I don't know. I tried it, and then ooh, this is a beautiful. We're gonna save this color. This is gorgeous. Ugh, I wish it had worked. It just, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I tried it when I first got it in the mail, and I tried it once last summer, and this morning I tried it, and I got really aggravated. so I'm like, I had received what I think is the solution in the mail, which is why I tried it this morning. Oh, this is beautiful. Now, this is really good paint. This is not to diss on the paint. But for some reason, I can't ghost rose with this. It's almost there. It almost works, but it actually doesn't all the way work. So I like things that make my life easier instead of harder. And I would love to be able to take this on the job with me. Look how beautiful that is. I mean, that is just stunning, shimmery. Make sure I can see it. Shimmery, and then it has a solid white on one side. I don't know why, but it just, maybe I'm not putting enough something I'm not doing right, or whatever, but it's not working for me. I've given it plenty of chances, so out it comes, and we are gonna save that. That is just gorgeous, and it is pretty. It's pretty on the skin, but for some reason I'm not working it well enough for it to work for what I want it for. Okay, so I think it's purely fitting that the thing that didn't work is now going to become the thing that does work. And I am going to, I've already used this with some alcohol to get my blades clean and whatnot. So I'm just going to go in. Sometimes I actually do a better job of removing all the paint because there's no point in, I don't like scraping it up, but I love this size of cake. Actually, I think I'm just going to get it wet with water. It doesn't want to come out with alcohol, which makes sense because it's a water-based paint. I might have had more luck if it was oil paint. But yeah, okay, so now I'm doing it off camera. This is a one and done because once I make it, I won't be able to make it again. And it, because I'm putting another set of whites in here, it is less crucial to get every little, I mean, who cares about that, right? White is going into that, you're never going to notice. But if this was a purple cake and I was going to put white in here, you better believe you want to get all that purple out. Otherwise, you'd be tainting your future paint and get very frustrated and annoyed. But since I'm just putting a couple of new whites in here, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so, and this is like, okay, so this is what I got. This is the Fusion. It's a neon white. It says it goes on clear. I did a little test swatch on my arm. It's not exactly clear, but it's sort of clear. Probably one of the clearer whites that I have seen. So I was hoping if this was clear and then I put a solid white next to it, I would have a Ghost Rose. I haven't done it. This is like my regular white. It's gonna be tag. This is like when you watch those the British baking show and they say they haven't tested what they're doing. I tested this paint by itself, but I haven't actually tested this process. So it's a sink or swim right now. All right, so for this one, I'm gonna cheat, and I think I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna just cheat and make an imprint with the back of this. I don't know if you can actually see that, but I just basically stamped it with where it's going. So that's the size I need minus the portion of white that I'm going to do. So, and the white's going to be a lot trickier because when you get these giant tubs, making a flat white thing is a lot more hands-on than this. Is beautiful. I mean, if that were all there were to it, it'd be pretty easy. But that's okay. This is what I bought this one for, so I don't feel bad about cutting right into the center of it. I'm hopeful. If I get a Ghost Rose out of this, I'm going to be pretty excited, to be honest. Alright, and so I probably need like a 3/4, so I'm going to probably draw a line next to where I actually probably need that much. Okay. When I first started face painting, I thought it was the lamest thing in the world to have only, this is funny. I find this funny now. I thought it was the lamest thing in the world to have only hand-cut split cakes. I was, face painting is expensive. Super expensive. So if you're doing it as a hobby, oh my goodness, it is so expensive. And so anyway, my first split cakes that I actually needed and wanted were, hand cut. And I thought that was just the lamest thing in the world. That was like more than 3 years ago now. However, I find it funny, and maybe this has happened to other people too, but the more I expect from, and hopefully this will come out, but it may come out in chunks, and I'll show you what we do if that happens. But the more that I need and expect from my paint, the more I have to make my own. So originally, I don't know, about maybe a year and a half in, I got rid of pretty much, I kept them, but I got rid of a lot of my handmade split cakes and like replaced them with all the beautiful, pretty ones. And now, what was old is new again. I am almost never. There's a few like, wonderful. Neon Nirvana is one of my absolute favorites. And I, if you find something that works, you don't have to make it yourself. You can just, this is real time, folks. This takes time. I'm not cutting this for you. If you're a face painter, you just do it with me. It's going to take you some time. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting it. Yeah, and so anyway, now, oh my goodness, now I've looked at making my own split cakes with brand new eyes because, there are a few amazing colors together that I wouldn't dream of. You know, like I have them at least two deep in my backstock. Like I keep my own backstock because you just never know. Stuff like Leanne Courtney's Neon Nirvana. Good luck trying to get that in the middle of the summer. It's not happening. So I just ordered another one of those, and I'm like, yep, happy to have it. Should I have ordered two? Maybe, I don't know. But and then the kids love it, and you know, for all the said and done, when you are painting or seeing something on a video, it's nothing compared to what it is in real life typically, and especially those because of the neons. So you're at a fair and people walk out in the sunshine, and it's like so cool, just amazing when you have parents just like having their they can't hold their excitement in. It's lovely. It turns older people into kids too, you know, some of these beautiful colors. So but anyway, this is not that exciting. This is just, I would love to be able to add some ghost roses on the fly. I think that'd be beautiful. And so I haven't found anything out there that does it. I can do it. And I might do a video later. I can do it on my own, but I want a split cake that just, it's like, I just load it and go. Okay, so that was kind of a hot mess there, but whatever. We might just hide that underneath. Try to make it as flat as you can. Oh. Pick up all those pieces. I'm excited about this. I don't do blacklight stuff yet. I'm kind of scared. I don't want to be in a rave. I'm a chicken. I like working with children really a lot. I like working with adults too. I think one of my favorite days was Teacher Day. Oh, that was so fun. I worked at an office as a temporary in a school, and I did a Teacher Day, and it was so cool to be like the unknown face painter. And okay, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, so I got to work with all those teachers, and it was fun. It was so fun, and they were just, teachers are really like little kids too. I mean, they enjoy some of the same things little kids enjoy. It was so fun to do that. I should do that again. That's been too long. It's been pre-pandemic. It was like, I had planned on doing it again in March of 2020, and that did not happen. So anyway, but yeah, so they were just like little kids, and I kind of was worried that their kids might be like envious of them, but they actually weren't. Their kids were just really enjoyed it, and they're like, "Oh, your face paint is so cool." Yeah, so they enjoy it, and it. I don't know. Gosh, you know, if you can brighten a teacher's day, that's like kind of the epitome, right? Because they have the toughest job in the world. I they have the toughest job in the world. That's all I gotta say. This is fun. This is kind of nothing compared to what they do every day. Plus, they get to take their job with them home, so it's sort of like a 24/7 thing. You know, because when they're not on the job, they're still thinking about the job and working. It's a tough job. I really should go do some more teacher things. I've been thinking about it. Now that we're not, you know, stay at home right now. Okay. All right. So you can see I got a big chunk of I'm not sure. I mean, I have tried and I have failed before. Let's do this. Let's take, there's a knotty side. I'm going to try a little bit to flatten it, but I think I'm just going to, that almost could work. We can always add more. I have a hard time if I put in too much and then try to slice it off, and I've already pressed the colors together, although they're not really technically colors in this case. But this is a kind of a thin chunk, and sometimes I will put it on the side Like I'll slice the chunk and then I'll put the flat side up, which is what we're doing here. Oh, that looks almost perfect. I might have to fill a hole or two. Okay, let's see. And then you just, this is why we get face paint under our nails all the time. I hope this works. If it doesn't work, you'll never see this video probably. Or it will just be funny, I guess. I don't know. A little dot of something there. Okay. I do like to make sure, and it doesn't hurt. Okay, I like to backfill. So here's what we have so far. Yeah, it's probably fine. I'm going to backfill this one side a little tiny bit. You can squish it in. There we go. That worked. It's like my husband says, why do you make the horse click sound? I'm like, I have no idea. I only started a couple of years ago. I must have been watching something that stuck with me. All right, I'm going to pressure this in there a little bit. Right now I could paint with this. I mean, it does not have to be perfect. You're gonna get, I hope this works. Can you hear? All right, so I'm gonna give it a go. Give it 2 squirts. I'm gonna let it sit for a minute. I'm squirting my brush a couple times. If you think you just need a little extra moisture, you can always just squirt both sides of your brush. I do that all the time when I'm at a gig, especially if it's hot out, and I don't really want to necessarily activate the paint with a pool of water. I will spray my brush in the air, and sometimes, and if it's like really hot, sometimes I will do it 3 or 4 times. Like, that's not enough. I can feel. I really hope this works. Isn't this funny? I have no idea. This is like the Great British Baking Show. Well, I have this recipe. Have you practiced it? And they go, no. And I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be this one. Yeah. So, and this is also how I keep, like I said, from over. Oh, I'm gonna be so excited if this works. Okay, it should work. It should work. In theory, it should work. Okay. Okay. All right. Another thing I do. It feels dry to me right now. Since this is all on camera, right? Okay. Ooh. Sometimes I add water and then go against. I'll keep some plastic surfaces. Oh, that might work. That's sort of looking like it might work. I'm gonna be so happy if I got this right. So happy, so happy. I'm already happy. It's looking like it might be right. So if you've ever loaded a cake, you gotta get it. You want to go? Haha! I've got a little color in my brush, I can tell. Okay, you want to go? Let's see. It's up pretty high. Let's see. Oh, it still feels dry though. All right, I'm gonna load a little more just water. All right, let's try it. See if I can do it. Well, I think I need it to be a little wetter. I don't know. It isn't looking very ghosty to me yet. Okay, so there's another trick you can use, but I really want this to work, so. Okay. Let's try another space. It's so-so. Maybe the other one did work and I just don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I don't know. I'm not happy with it. Let me try loading some more. I don't think the tag, I think the tag is the right white to use with it. Okay, when I go up here. Okay, so one of the tricks I use on the job, which I don't do a lot of ghost rows on the job, but in real life, when I'm practicing ghost rows, is just to load only the tip. See, that does do a and there's another trick. You can keep a pot of paint. Ooh, I know. Let me cheat. I'm gonna get up and grab something really quick. Okay. I don't know if I would do this on the job either, so. However, I probably will have this at my next gig because I kind of like. This is a liquid paint. It's an instant liquid white. So that didn't help either. Alright, let's do this over a little color. I really wanted this to work. I don't know. It looks really good. It looks good. I might cut and figure out what I need to do differently, but let's try this again. Okay, I see it. I do see it. Not on my arm though. That's interesting. Weird. Okay, so that gives me hope. Let me do another thing. Hold on. It's weird when you see it on paper, but you don't see it on your skin. That's strange. Okay. I'm going to try to give a background. Might be needed to be, which would mean, this would mean, oh, that's cool. This is just Star Blends. It's just a powder. I was curious as to what it would look like. Of course, the disadvantage of painting over powder is you end up transferring it. So I might not stick my brush back in until I clean it. Let's see if it works on here. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Maybe not. I can see it on paper, but on powder it's not working either. Well, that's disappointing. Yeah. Not the best. I don't know. Alright, well, I might just stop the video and try to figure out what I need to fix to make it more ghosty. It's not working yet. Okay, so in my quest to get the perfect ghost rose, I'm sitting here going, what's wrong with this picture? I finally figured out this is, my thought was that I was going to be able to use this global neon white because they said it was clear, but guess what? This would work under a black light probably. Because they mean it's clear when you see it at a rave, not when you paint it on your arm. So Well, that's news. So anyway, so I'm not going to put this out as a video for the ghost rose that I was hoping it would be, but I am going to make this into something I actually don't have and have been wanting, because when you're doing this stuff at home and not for video, that's just life, right? You get a brilliant idea, you try to implement it, and lo and behold, it actually doesn't work. So I'm going to cut out that last. What a bummer. That was like the absolute perfect. It's a great video for how to make your own split cake, because although I probably have never made one quite this nice, so just FYI. Yep. Does that happen to you too? It happens to me way too often. It just wants to come out. So but I'm going to change this and make this into a color I have been wanting to make and just have not had the time. So when you do roses, one of the hardest things, besides the actual way that you have to turn your brush, which takes a lot of time to learn, unfortunately. But when you do roses, it really helps to have like a 3/4 pan of white. So I have a brand new Fusion neon orange, and I have been looking forward to the day when I could do an orange rose. So we're just going to do that. We're just going to put that little perfect, well, it won't be perfect, but you know, size chunk of orange in there and see if we can't sort of redeem this mess. Which is, it's all right. It's okay, you know. Stuff happens. All right. I probably will not cut this video very much, so you can do it with me if you should desire to do so. I'm not really good at doing a lot of editing. Since I started the business, I've had to do a bunch of businessy type things that I'm not really good at either, so I figured editing could be one of those things that I just don't do. That's a mess. Okay. Sad. That's okay. It's still good, and it's still there. I'm just gonna dig it out and press it in. You get to be a little kid and play with stuff that. Now see, I love how nice and squishy Fusion is. There's some paints. All paint is a different consistency. Every brand, from brand to brand, and sometimes even within one color will have, you know, certain different consistencies than another color in the same line. So, but you do start to learn, like, oh hey, I really don't want to have to make a split cake out of this, or I really like making split cakes out of these guys, and do enough of them. And apparently now I'm going to be doing more of them, because I want what I want, and it kind of doesn't exist unless you are, if you have money. There are people that do bespoke face paints, which are beautiful, and those are the sorts of things I want. So either, I don't even know, I'm not even, sorry, wasn't even in the frame for that. Okay, we'll put it in the frame. It was pretty okay. We're just scooching it down here. I use my hands a lot, obviously, to... There we go. This should be interesting. It doesn't even matter if it gets a little muddy. You're actually going to get it wet. But I do like if it goes down almost all the way. Yeah, and it doesn't matter if your line is perfectly straight, because when you stroke over the split cake. It'll even itself out in your strokes too. So, all right. Let's see if we can. I'm gonna squirt it twice again. See how we do. Although I squirted over all my paint. There we go. This will be an interesting redemption to this poor video. Haha, when they say clear, they don't mean regular clear. They mean clear when you have a black light on and it's dark. Okay, I get it now. I think if you were to make a ghost rose on your own, probably the best thing you could do is find the weakest white paint you could find and put that as your base and then your strongest white as your highlight. And I'm sure, see, and I can't even, oh, this is going to be pretty. Not exactly what I was thinking, but it will be pretty. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. It's not wet enough yet. It's not wet enough yet. All right. Do. Okay. It is pretty though. I do almost all my roses inside out. Oh gosh, that is pretty. I'm not even doing it on camera. Yep, I like it. Okay. Okay. It probably needs to be a little bit more wet, but I always do my roses inside out because I think they look like those lit from below flowers they used to have in the 60s. I don't know why I like that, but I do. So my roses are always backwards from what you'll see. So, you know, not what we set out to do, but definitely a fantastic video for if you've never done a split cake before. This will actually work. Have a good day.